Hello, Floss Tube. It's December 30th, about 27 degrees outside and snowing pretty heavily, and it's time for my infamous WIP Parade, my very first one. Yeah, I haven't done a Floss Tube for about a year yet. It'll be the end of January, and so this will be my first WIP Parade. And I'm going to go on and probably do one basket at a time. I have, of course, way too many WIPs with way too little progress done on them, but oh, I love them all, and I can't give any of them up. So I'm going to spend some time with you today going through and making videos and showing you what WIPs I have. I'm not going to include other WIPs for other crafts. If you want those, you have to ask for them. I have bobbin lace WIPs, I have needlepoint WIPs, I have rug hooking WIPs. So I have beading WIPs too. So if you want all of those, I'll have to do those another day because these ones are going to take up way too much of that time. Before I get on to the WIPs, I have to show those of you who belong to my Instagram page, which is actually Colette Stitcher. I usually put that in at the end of my videos, Floss Tube videos. I'll say thanks for watching, and then I'll say IG Colette Stitcher, because that's what I originally made up my name for at Instagram. So if anybody wants to join me there, it's Colette Stitcher, all one word, lowercase. Anyway, this is for all of you guys who on Christmas Day so excitedly wanted to find out and buy the pattern I had that I wished everybody a Merry Christmas on. Here it is, the Cole Special. And as you can see, it actually is a very pretty pattern. I mentioned to one of my people on Instagram, I said, well, I would love to give you the pattern, but I don't think Kohl's has any access to it. I didn't realize how well the picture took and how much it looked like cross stitch. And it is a beautiful cross stitch pattern. So maybe we're going to have somebody with a lot of design experience make it up, make a design up for it. To the WIPs. I've got some of my WIPs pretty much organized still in my IKEA. Actually, I don't think these are IKEA, now that I think about it. I think they're Hobby Lobby baskets. I'd like to go and get a couple more. I really like them. So anyway, I think I'll do a basket at a time and see how much time that takes up, and maybe stop them at that so that it doesn't take forever to download this. And then I'll go on and do another basket. So right now, picking up the first. This is actually a Hobby Lobby basket. It does look similar to IKEA, but it's Hobby Lobby. I got it, I think, for 50% off. So anyway, and I'm just going to go through these and hope I remember. There's a lot of mystery. And there's no mystery floss. I definitely know what the floss is on these projects, but there are a lot of mystery fabrics. But I'll do my best. And if anybody has any questions, let me know, and I will try my best to maybe look up and compare them to other fabrics, see if I can figure it out. I have a lot of these little bags. I didn't actually get mine at Amazon where a lot of people did. I got mine at the Container Store, which is a really cool store that they have in major cities, but they don't have them. They don't have them like in little towns or whatever. But that store is the funnest store to go around and look for things. And so I found all these bags, different size-wise ones. So any of the bags I have that are the little checkered see-through bags are from Container Store. And then I also have ones from, you know, bags where people made them, and I bought them. My first WIP is this Erica Michaels Amazing Grace. Love the verses to Amazing Grace. And this one is like one of those pieces where you're putting the first word and then putting over the top of it some more of the verse. It says, Amazing Grace, I once was lost, but now I'm found. This piece is on a mystery fabric. I don't know what it is. And I also changed out the floss too on it. And I used overdyes, and I changed out quite a bit of practically all the floss on it. So if anybody wants, it's going to take up a lot of time for me to tell you each each overdyed that I use to change the color. But I prefer blues and other colors than I do the colors in this. So I changed out everything. So if anybody is interested in the color conversion, just ask me. This is some kind of a natural linen. I know it's 28 count. And I changed out for blue, for a medium blue for the background, the amazing part, and for the part that the verse that goes over it into a dark blue. So that's what I accomplished on that. This is a piece that actually, if Michelle Rudy of Farm Girl does another stitch challenge, that I'm pretty sure I can finish. It's not that big of a piece. I just haven't worked on it. And that's not because I don't like it. Again, like I said, I do enjoy every piece, I think. I got rid of I actually stitched the pieces that I was beginning to get really not happy with. I decided I was going to stitch them or I was going to toss them in the trash. So I stitched them last year and got them done. So I don't think there's a pattern in here that I don't like. Here's another one of the see-through from Container Store. And this one is Silver Creek Samplers. Dorothy's Discovery. This is the one that came out a couple years ago on Market. The power is there. Whenever you choose, it's found in the heart, not in the shoes. Forced me my love for Wizard of Oz. This is one where I do know my fabric. It's a Picture This Plus. Picture This Plus Ariel with all the called for DMC. So as you can probably see from this, it's just her dress and that bird that I did. Do you like my little red ruby slippers? So there they are. I have to have a needle minder that matches my theme here, though I don't have that with everything. Some of them don't match it at all, but in this case I do. So anyway, her dress is partially done. This is another piece which should be doable to finish. I think the thing that keeps it from being finished is just getting that dress done. Once I get that dress all checkered and done, I get a little burned out with it. Then I think the rest of it will go along faster. So that is Dorothy's Discovery. Okay, the next one is also in a container bag. And this one is a Shakespeare's Peddler. One that I do enjoy and want to get back to. It's Here Lie My Needles. It's that cute one that was released a couple years ago where you can put your old needles on it. This one is a total mystery Lugana that I just happened to have in my stash before I had a lot of extra fabric. I do have the called for the overdyed threads that I'm using from the actual pattern. So anyway, this is, I would think this almost looks like a mushroom type of Lugana. I only know for sure though that it's 28 count. And this is what I've done on it. So far the color seems to be working. I may have to change out some because of course this was not the fabric that was called for. But so far it's looking nice. So another one I enjoy. Make sure I put these back because since they are looking so good, I don't want them to all get all mishmashed. Another container bag. And this is last year's Tiny Modernist Mystery Stitch Along, The Words to Live By, which I lost track in doing, as you can see. I haven't even pulled up the other ones that have already been done, which are all of them practically, on my iPad to work on. I got stopped because of a mistake, and it wasn't a major mistake, but I got stopped anyway and didn't pick it up again. So I just need to frog an area and then I can get back. I'm doing it on navy blue 18 count Ada and the called for DMC. I do not I can't see good enough anymore to work on a dark color linen, so it's those old eyes. So anyway, this one I think will still look very pretty. So anyway, I started down in the middle, but didn't finish the whole middle, and then just started up at the top left-hand corner. And I had someone very graciously, I'm glad they told me, because I probably would have just finished it and not noticed it. But right here, that's not rainbows, it's Ranbos. Rambo? As you can see, I forgot the I. So I'm going to have to rip out the rest of that and put the I in. And I did not feel like doing that, so it got set aside and not picked up again. I kept up on the other two Mystery Cells fairly decently, not perfect, better than this one. But that was because of the part that I had to frog, and I'd rather work on something else than frog. Which probably is what a lot of you guys agree with. Another container bag. This is a kit, a Riolis kit. So of course it has the called for, it has the 14 count Ada and wool floss that comes with it. And it's a hedgehog, 2 hedgehogs. Love hedgehogs, and they're the Lace Maker mascots. So whenever I see a hedgehog pattern, I like to pick it up. Not too much has been done on this at all. Just a very little start for Stitch Mania. Thank goodness I kept that little hedgehog in the proper up position so that I would know actually that I was in the correct position of this piece. Otherwise, if I hadn't done that or hadn't put the needle in, I would have had to try to figure out what this was showing and whether I was going from the top down or the bottom up or whatever. So just a little bit done. Cute pattern though. I love those little hedgehogs on their little mushroom. I know Ginger Gerald was doing this and finished it. Buckeye Stitcher, Nicole, oh shoot, Buckeye Stitcher was doing this too, and I'm not sure how close she's done to being, how close she's finished, you know, to it either. Okay, I have, I'm into, pulled out now some of my bags. This bag was from Linda Jo, Pretty Southern. She made this for me because she knew of my Route 66 love and being a highway stitcher. And my project in here is the one I've been working on. Is one of my weekly, oh my goodness, rotations. And it's the Needleworker Accoutrement. So any of you have been watching my Floss Tube the last couple of weeks, this looks very familiar. And I can just show you this to you really fast. Of course, it's Brenda Gervais' kitted material for the Midwest Cross Stitchers Retreat, her own dyed fabric, and the called for threads that she had in it. So that's coming along. Oh yes, it's a 36 count too that she had. The next one is also a Linda Jo Pretty Southern bag. It was one of her first bags she made. It's like a farm scene, 4th of July. And of course, I do not have a compatible piece in it this 4th of July, but it's typical me. I just threw one in. This is one that, if you watch Handwork Maniac, which I would suggest you do, Brenda, she is just about finished with this. I love it. But I did a very tiny start on it and never picked it up again. Victorian Charm. It's beautiful, beautiful piece. If you want to see a more finished piece, go watch Brenda. It's being stitched, it's a kit, so I'm stitching it on the 18 count Navy Ada that came with it, and the DMC threads. I mean the called for threads. I'm not sure if they're DMC or not, actually, just the called for that came with it. Thank goodness on this one too, I also put the needle minder above where it is, where the top part of this pattern goes, so I would know where I'm at. And that's only as much as I'm done on it. It's always hard to see these dark ones with the light coming through the window. So maybe what I'll do is put this behind it. There you can see it a little better. The only part that I did starting in the middle is actually right around there. That little part there. Oh, it's such a cute piece though. I like it. So again, it's not one that I would stop working on. And it's not one that I dislike. So I want to continue working on that. Another project bag. I have to apologize to people. I did not keep track on all the project bags and who I got them from. And this one is just absolutely beautiful with the bees on it and the flowers. I might have gotten this one at last year's Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat. And I have to look up her name. And she actually is, you know, sweet. I love her. See the little bee that she used on her zip pull? It's so cute. But I have to look up her name, and I forgot. And I believe this is one of her bags. This one is a good one for me, as with the hedgehogs patterns. We have a second home in Washougal, if you're just joining me for my WIP Parade, Washougal, Washington, and it's on a river. It's on the Washougal River. So I've been wanting to stitch this Welcome to the River and put it up above, put it up on my wall. I think this is actually a doable pattern. Again, it's not very big. And so even though I have a tiny start on it, I want to get working on this again because I think it's one I could finish up. This one actually, I'm trying to think here. I know it's the called for DMC, but it is a mystery linen, some kind of natural linen. And I only started it, I started it on Stitch Mania last year. And all that I did was just a little bit of the first letter of the welcome. Okay, there's another one. Close this one up. Okay, another project bag. Another one that I don't know who it's from. Sorry. Boy. One thing that this floss tubing has done for me is now, from now on, or for the last few months, I have been writing down where I get things and who has done them and the fabric and the floss and everything, because you know, I don't want that feeling of saying, guys, somebody gave something to me and I don't even remember where it came from. Though I am leaning towards, and if Deborah is watching this video, Deborah being a Franson, I don't remember your last name very well, but Deborah, she visited me at our National Lace Convention in Spokane, Washington, and she did give me a project bag, and I'm thinking that this is her project bag. If I'm wrong, Deborah, you just let me know. You can bop me over the head, over the video head, even though it won't hit me. But I believe this is Deborah's bag, and it was so sweet of her. She wanted to come and see the lace convention and meet me, and because she lived in Spokane. So I appreciated that. She was so sweet. And speaking of the lace convention and lace making in general, here's what this piece has, what this project bag has in it. This is called the Lace Studio Collection, and it's 4 cross-stitch pieces with lace makers lacing, winter, spring, summer, and fall. And this is summer that I started. And I started this years ago and have not done very much with it. I know it is a Lugana, a 28 count, a pink of some sort, as you'll be able to see when I show it, with DMC threads. Again, I was smart enough to put the needle minder the correct way here, so I would know how I was stitching. This is more of a full coverage pattern, and I got a little burned out with it, so stop doing it. But actually, as I pick it up now, since I do more full coverage patterns now, I really like it, and I should pick it up and work on it again, because it's not total full coverage. It's just, the lace maker there with, and it doesn't, there's no stitching in the background. So I need to pick that up and do it again. So that's lace maker. Make sure everything gets in here. Okay, the next one is one I actually made myself. This is lace fabric with spiders all over it. I got it during Halloween one time at Joann's. And I put in it the Tiny Modernist Haunted Mansion, the mystery series, which I'm stitching on 28 count Haunted Lugano by Picture This Plus with the DMC colors. I did not do anything with this. I think this is the cutest pattern ever, and a lot of people finished it. And I just kind of left it in Stitcher's prison, in oblivion. And I'm sorry for that, because I really still do like it a lot. Love this Haunted fabric by Picture This Plus. This one again, thank goodness, I have a cute spider here in his web. And I kept him in the position where I know that this is the right positioning for the start of this. So that is the Haunted Mansion Mystery Cell in the probably 50 stitches that I put into it. Whoopee! But since that one was started last year, at least I could tell you what the fabric is, and because I kept a record of it. Okay, my next one is in a bag that I did keep a record of. This is Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher, Floss Tube, and one of her beautiful bags with a cute zipper pull. And this, oh my goodness, this is one of my rotation pieces, which you have seen many times. No problem with this. Everything's written down. I've been doing it so long I know exactly what it is. This is Plantation Sampler. So any of you who have been watching are very familiar with this piece. It's being stitched on 36 count vintage sand dune and with a shepherd's bush conversion, thread conversion. We are doing a stitch along with this. Krista Kramer and me both have October 29th birthdays. And so we're doing a hashtag on Instagram, OCT29SAL, October 29 Sal. Anyone who does have this pattern, it's an old pattern from the 80s. So it's not available anymore, but if anybody has the pattern, feel free to join us. Love working on this pattern. I've still got quite a addiction to it, and I'm going to be continuing on it. Another Container Store bag, and one of my long dogs. I like the Count Your Blessings song from White Christmas instead of sheep. So this was my first choice for doing a long dog, where it's Count Your Blessings instead of sheep. I'm using the called for overdyes for this, but I'm not positive on the fabric. I know it's a 28 count Zweigart, and it could possibly be an antique white or just a regular white. There's one I pulled out of my stash. And here, Miss Long Dog. Let's see here. Again, this probably isn't a Zweigart. It's probably Witchelt because it's kind of more see-through and loosey-goosey. So I'm going to put this behind it and see if it shows up a little bit better. Yeah, it's going to be a really pretty piece. Of course, I did not put 2019. I'm not going to put the second part of the date until I'm totally done with it. but it's really pretty. I enjoyed working on this at Stitch Mania. I want to pick it up again. This is Sheep May Safely Graze, Homespun Elegance. Like this one. This is a little piece and should be doable to finish. I probably will put it in a challenge for this year to finish it up. I know this is being done with the called for overdyed threads. And I do know the color on this because it's a color that I dearly love. Vintage Country Mocha. I just love Vintage Country Mocha. And that's the start that I had on this. The colors are so pretty. And I like homespun elegance, and I like sheep. I like Melanie of Yarns and Threads. So that was a piece that I wanted to do. So this one was an interesting one. This one the pattern I got at Stitch Fill back in Minnesota when I went to the first Midwest cross stitching retreat. It was a pattern that is by Tempting Tangles Designs, and it was in their little back room where they have they were having their patterns like off. They were trying to go through them and sell them cheaper, and they were trying to get rid of them. I had never seen this, but what drew my eye on this, I'm a DAR member, Daughters of the American Revolution lineage group, and this Quaker motif sampler has the letters DAR in it, as you can see. So of course I grabbed this pattern right away, and I had ideas of what I wanted to do with it. And I did start it the last Stitch Mania and love it, love it, love it, but put it aside and didn't pick it up. Now that I'm looking at it again, I'm just going, oh, I want to do this pattern again, so it may go into my rotation really soon. Again, it's, I didn't know it was right next to my other, but it's Vintage Country Mocha. It's a 32 count, so it's not 28, but it's the same color. And I'm using four colors on it, of blues, reds, and whites, because since it's a DAR, I want to have red, white, and blue in different primitive looking colors. So this is my start on it, and really like it. So that one I want to pull back into my rotation schedule because I really, really like it. Just, you can tell, even though they're in plastic, these are some beautiful colors. We've got cranberry, dungarees, bamboo, blacksmith blue, and cherry bark. Beautiful, primitive, patriotic colors. So, you know, that's going to get pulled out again and worked on. I love this Panoply of Posies, a Quaker motif sampler with a history. And to me, it has a DAR history, so that's why I picked it up. Here comes my first Mira. This is the, oh my goodness. This is the 25 Years of Mirabilia. And it doesn't say the name. But this is the one that she designed. That's the 25 Years of Mirabilia. So I decided to do this for a stitch along for a friend's birthday, who I forgot, but I'll try to add that when I look her up. She does floss tubes. She loves Miras and was doing a Mira start for her birthday. So I thought, oh, I should do this Mira Designs one. I'm doing it on a 32 count seafoam. So I got seafoam with the called for DMC. And only have a little start with it. This is a stiff fabric, so it's going to be real wrinkly. Kept the needle minder in the right place. Let's see if I can put something behind this so you can see. The colors are really pretty. Really, really pretty. And I had gotten this fabric from my friend who passed away. So, and it was a large piece, so it was really good to be able to use for this piece. So anyway, there's some the water lily colors and the DMC that are in typical in Mirabilis. So she's a pretty lady. So she will go back in her bag with that stiff seafoam fabric. This is one that I got off Etsy. Crazy to Stitch designer. Got this for my love of Star Wars. In this house, they have one of these for Disney too. So, in this house, we use the Force. It goes on with the whole thing about Star Wars. I'm not doing this on black with yellow. I'm actually doing it on a mystery Lugana Gray 28 count. Again, this was started a few years ago, and I did not keep track on the actual name. But I know it's an even weave, and I know it's 28 count. And of course, you can probably tell from this, sort of, even though it's a little hard to tell. It is a gray. It's a really pretty gray. This has been kind of in Stitcher prison because I didn't realize until I started it that this could be really boring. Boring with all those block letters and all the same colors. But I really like the same. So, and I like the way the gray and the black look together. So, and I don't dislike the pattern. I do like it. So I will continue to work on it when I get in hunkering for doing block letters again. Oh, 33 minutes. Let's hurry up and get through the rest in this basket so I can stop this video. This one's recognizable to you guys. I won't take it out of the bag. This is my Sunday Stitching, A Savior's Praise. It's being stitched on 40 count. I didn't write it down because I always remember it and I always look it up. I'm pretty sure it's Lakeside Linen Bisque with the called for DMC conversion. And a lot of you have seen this, the progress I've made on it. So I will continue to use that for my Sunday stitching, probably. Goes back. Here's another bag. Thank goodness Wendy put her name on this. Pixie Dust. Wendy. Bags by Wendy. Sorry about that, Wendy. But she does have her little name on there. She's a Pacific Northwest stitcher who makes project bags. And this one was one in particular I really wanted. I'm going to take out the whole the whole pattern and everything and show you why. My second home is Washington, Oregon area in Portland, and she had some of this fabric left. I love Portland and different areas in Portland to visit, and so she made this bag for me. So it's a bag I love. Anyway, this is a piece that I was doing for a rotation on Saturdays for a while, but then I got off of it. It's on like a mottled gray Lugana, 28 count. In this case, I should have written it down and I did not. I apologize for that. I am using 3 overdyes for it, not what it's called for. I'm using a Midnight, Cupid, and Chalk, and I can give you the conversion if you are interested in starting this piece. As you can tell, it's like a mottled gray, and it's Our Nation by Bygone Stitches. And I did not show you the picture. There's the picture. So, love this piece. And it's really a easy stitch once you get going on it. So, I was enjoying working on it on Saturdays. I used it for my, Saturday stitching for a patriotic theme. But then I got off of it somehow, I think because I probably had other things I had to get done and didn't get back onto it. So it's one that I do want to continue working on. Here's my DAR bag that I had with it with my scissors and everything in it. Okay, I'm getting down near the end of this basket, which is good. My last piece is in a bag that Heather of Confetti Stitcher, who does Floss Tubes, made for me. Gave it to me at our SoCal cross-stitching retreat. I think she made this specifically for me because she knew I was working on this piece, which she also worked on a similar Disney princess. And this is the Mucha Princess series in Etsy. If you look up Mucha Princess cross stitch, you will get it. It's Pinky the Pink, I believe. Anyway, I am doing Merida. One of my favorite characters. I like to do some archery every now and again. I love shooting arrows. It's kind of a weird hobby, but I do like it. And not that I'm any good at it. I'm not like Katniss of Everdeen of Hunger Games, but it's just something I enjoy doing. So Merida kind of followed that pattern in me of a Mucha Princess that I wanted to do. Anyway, I'm stitching her on a 32 count opal, Angelic by Under the Sea. I have to open this all up. And this is one where it is needle minder with stitching. There's Merida herself. And a little bit of her hair done. So when Heather saw me doing that, I think that's probably the reason why this bag is filled with Disney characters as well as sequins that go good with the opal fabric. Anyway, that's the last of this bag, basket. As you can see, there's nothing left. So I'm going to end this particular part of my video, and I will go on and do the next bag, or next basket. Sorry about that. Anyway, see you guys in a bit. Bye.